Close your eyes. It's Saturday morning. You've got the oversized bowl. You've got the pajamas with the feet. Kyle and Ashby, what cartoon are you watching and what cereal are you diving into?
I'm chomping down on a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Of course.
And Sneak Attack. I'm not watching one cartoon. I'm watching Disney's One Saturday Morning on ABC. Yeah, at least until my dad comes in and says, "Why aren't you outside cutting grass and picking up pine cones?"
I'm a little surprised that you didn't go with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's included in Disney's One Saturday Morning.
Is it really?
The
And
end
the
of it
animated
was.
series, or
Wow. I see. I
That
always
didn't
thought,
play on
I
something.
thought Turtles was like on the CBS channel or something, but
A lot of stuff changed.
That's
It may
true.
not have been included in that block.
Interesting.
Still, Doug was there.
oh, well, Doug. Yes.
And the
Doug,
Weekenders.
Doug Funny.
And Recess and all the things.
Ashby?
I'm watching The Little Mermaid, the animated series,
Yes.
and I'm eating Captain Crunch with berries.
Oh,
nice. It has to be a cartoon, so I could not put Power Rangers because Power Rangers is not a cartoon. Right? I know
You
it airs.
said
To be
cartoon.
fair,
I
you
did
made
say
the rules.
cartoon,
So.
so-
You have to follow your own rules,
I
Eric.
do, but so I will say I vividly remember the Fox Kids had X-Men the animated series airing at 11 a.m.
Yes.
And of course, I agree, Captain Crunch. But I think I had no berries. We were very basic. So, but Captain Crunch is still good. So
All I know is
Absolutely.
if Soul Train's playing, it's time to get up for sure.
that's
to,
true. It's time to leave.
To get out and do the
That's
grass.
right. It's time to go outside and touch grass,
Yeah.
as they say now.
Well, honestly, that tells me everything that we need to know about our childhood. So, let's get this thing started.
What the what?
Hello and welcome to the What the What variety show. I am your host Eric, joined by Kyle and Ashby. I don't have a fun little like sequitur for y'all today. Like I know last week it was the people I would trust in a blockbuster thing. I think I had one originally in the script, and then when I updated the script for some reason it got taken out, and I'm a little sad that I didn't
Cut
catch
it for time.
I
Yep.
didn't catch it. I don't understand.
Nope, we don't need that today. Those are just people.
Today is a massive episode. We've got the As If Archives, and of course our high-stakes Whatchella draft. We'll talk about that in Block B. But first, let's talk about what's happening. This is our Block A. What's happening? I think this is going to be kind of maybe a feature that you'll see on most episodes. So let's talk about what's happening. Spider-Man Brand New Day. The trailer came out. Me and Matt Starling kind of did a little 10-minute deep dive on it a couple of weeks ago. What were your thoughts?
Gosh, it's so many thoughts. I'm super excited to watch it. I kind of feel like we talked about last time with sort of the things that Marvel has in store for us and the teasers they're rolling out, with the trailers, but also sort of these, Russo brother prologue scenes to Secret Wars and that kind of thing. I'm actually excited again, for the
Same,
first time
yeah.
in a long time with what they're doing. And so this trailer sort of continued that feeling for me, being able to watch it and not immediately feel like, ugh, like another, So the trailer itself, excellent. No notes. I'm really excited about what they're doing. To be honest, there were parts of it, and it was so interesting, in the last probably like minute of the trailer with the voiceover and sort of this like ominous feeling that like the villain this time is something internal to Peter instead of external, like his body is kind of turning against him.
Mm-hmm.
It was giving like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man vibes.
Yeah.
It was giving, like
So you're saying we're getting emo Tom Holland?
I was
this time?
not going to say emo, but if we're using that word, then absolutely.
Sure.
I hope
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
hope he dances with.
No, we can't go that far. We
With,
can't.
with their version of Gwen Stacy.
His hair at least has to be like brushed
Yes,
over.
and it's got to be darker. Yes.
Yeah.
Punisher. This is kind of one of the first like.
Yes.
I know we had Matt Murdock in the last Spider-Man movie for like a little cameo as Peter Parker's lawyer.
Right.
But Punisher, this is kind of the first like Netflix series / new Disney Netflix series kind of crossover with the movie,
Right.
Or with the movies. So that's kind of fun.
And like I really am excited at what he brings to it.
Yeah.
Because I will say in like the new Daredevil series, anytime he's featured, he really brings a lot more to it. It's not just like, oh, we had to throw another character in here or whatever.
Right.
He holds his own, but it also is always like a good addition where stuff bounces off of the other character. At least with Daredevil he does. So I'm excited to see like, well, I mean, I don't know how much of the movie he'll actually be in. Like, do we see all about the extent of what we're going to get of him in the trailer? Or is he going to be a bigger part? Or is he just an extra part happening in the craziness of what Peter's going through?
My question is, are we going full street level hero Spidey? Like, I know Samuel L. Jackson's, you've been to space. I'm going to paraphrase the line there.
Right.
Like, he's been a big part of the Avengers world. Is this going to be a full on street level movie with Punisher, possibly Daredevil? We see what we think is the Hand in the trailer.
Right.
Like, is that going to be where we go? And if so, how is that going to reconcile with, I mean, do we know for sure that Tom Holland's going to be in Doomsday?
I believe so.
Like, he's been confirmed, right?
Yes. I think he was one of the names on the chair.
Yeah, one of the million chairs.
Yeah, one of the bajillion chairs.
So how is that? Are we going to go street level, and then he gets pulled back into that larger world? But then we have Bruce Banner, Marco Ruffalo's Bruce Banner,
right? Confirming that none of the Avengers remember Peter.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I wonder, like what you're saying is, this one just gonna be so focused on him and the personal struggles he's dealing with in body, not just mentally but physically that he's dealing with. Is it, to me, it makes no sense just to be its own movie by itself, where he goes through this at the end. I don't know if we're going to get a resolution per se, where all of a sudden, oh yeah, everybody remembers him now, or if at least it's just maybe a sprinkle of people or something's happening that leads us into the next part. And the same, like, are we getting Venom in this movie? There's
Are we getting Man Spider?
I feel like that's what they're alluding to.
Yeah.
And are you getting full blown Spider, like Spider, or are you just getting like Tom Holland with like 6 arms and like 2 legs, or a lot of stuff with that? Like, I don't know, which is good. Like, I'm excited to watch a trailer and not know.
Well, it also makes me wonder. And look, I could be saying something that has already been said a million times on the internet, because one of the things I have refused to do since the trailer came out is look at any fan theory videos on the internet. Yes. So
Ashby actually yelled at us through text message.
I did.
She wasn't yelling at us per se, but just the larger fan theory community.
I was just ranting to rant. It's like, give me a sec, like give me a single second to sit with my feeling. Anyway,
let me see if I can find the quote here.
That's for later. Please quote it. I
don't know if I can quote it. We're still a family friendly show.
Well, you could just be like beep 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 beep. Beep. Anyway,
internet.
Yeah. So it's interesting to me in the last Spider-Man movie when we got the other Spider-Mans, and there was that scene where Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Tom Holland's Spider-Man are fascinated that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's webs come out of him.
Yes.
And I thought that was just like a fun throwaway scene to kind of be like an exposition of like the pointing Spider-Man meme, where they're always like, they spend some time in that movie doing fun comparisons to one another. And there's, some changes between comics and Spider-Man lore. So I just thought that was a fun call out for the fans. And now I'm wondering if it was actually meant to be a setup
for this.
Yes. To make you realize more that that's not something he has, but it does exist.
By the way, here's the quote. And the quote is in reference to something Kyle posted. Is Spider-Man turning into Man Spider, or is Jean Grey controlling him? And Ashby said, and I'm paraphrasing, internet, just give me 1 minute to take it in before I have to consider I'll have to catch up on X-Men lore to enjoy this movie.
I'm so mad.
I did the same thing, because we've talked about it before, but I tried not to go and watch a bunch of things. Because I'm excited about this one, so I don't want to be spoiled, and either expect too much or not enough or whatever. But just being Instagram or whatever, like, things pop up and you see things.
One of the great things about not being on Facebook anymore is that these articles don't just pop up on your feed. Right. And if I see a TikTok or a reel, I can just scroll quickly and avoid stuff. So
I didn't see anything major, and then one of it was one thing I kind of caught while I was watching. It was like there's that one subway scene where it's like, is that Rogue?
Yeah.
Or like the girl looks like Rogue. Don't think it's going to be
Interesting.
Rogue. I think it's more of a throwaway just to like
Yeah.
get you talking about things as we're talking about a trailer.
Yes, and
But-
I think
Right.
Sadie Sink's character is. There's a lot of speculation about who her
Sure.
character is, and I think that's done purposely.
Sure.
Right.
Like it is meant
Right.
to garner chatter amongst
Right.
the interwebs.
Is
No
she
pun
Gwen
intended.
Stacy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is she Mayday Parker from Tobey
Sure.
Maguire's
Right.
universe? I mean, like
Right.
I've seen so many different things.
Is she Phoenix?
Yeah, I mean, like Matt had the was it Typhoid Mary was like, which is a really deep cut from the comics. I think that's
Yeah.
not really a pop like, but who knows? I mean, I think if
Yeah.
we put Matt back on camera, he could sprout off like a
Sure.
million theories, and we
course,
just
of
give him the
course.
mic for an hour and just let him go.
Love that
I will say
journey.
the only other one I saw, which kind of I wondered anyway when I saw it in the trailer, because I remember with the previous movie there was the one shot of like the 3 villains on this side, or at least a few villains, and then the one Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, which ended up being they had edited out the other 2 Spider-Man in the trailer. Like it was actually 3 Spider-Man on this side,
Right.
against all the villains. So when I saw the one where we assume is the Hand all on the side, and then the one Spidey, you're like, are they editing out people again?
Characters. Right.
And if not, like they called us last time.
Right.
We were not going to do that, but we, all of a sudden they're going to all think that. Or, who else is there? Like,
Right.
because it is kind of like up in the air. So I don't feel like Punisher's like just flying through the air.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say, like, one thing with Instagram or other places, I did see a picture that completely, like, either, fan made, but so many people, of course, don't fact check and they just go with it. But it did have me excited for like a split second where it's like there's the scene of Peter kind of like hanging off of the roof, like falling, not sure what's happening. He's not got his powers, but you see a little bit of like a black smudge there that you assume is venom. But then when you look even closer, there's like 2 like footprints, and they're Jordans. So you would assume Miles Morales.
Yeah.
And so of course comments went crazy, but it's like that's not there. That didn't exist. But I still, there's hope for a world where that happens.
Well, there's been rampant speculation on the internet that Caleb, the guy who plays Lucas in Stranger Things,
Oh yeah,
has
yeah.
been doing a lot of
Yeah.
like gymnastics and stuff, and they were thinking that he was going to be given his own, like, I guess real life or
live action.
Into the Spider-Verse movie, but maybe he's just been cast as Miles Morales in this film.
I
would love that.
Yeah, we do know Miles Morales is in this universe because of Donald Glover's character in the first Spider-Man: Homecoming. He mentions
true.
He has to get back home to his nephew,
Right.
who is Miles Morales. Ashby, you mentioned, and we can talk about this forever, but I'll kind of close on this. You mentioned earlier at the very beginning of this conversation that you're excited, and I think part of the excitement is with a lot of Marvel properties now, you have to have so much knowledge and history. And I think one of the great things about the Spider-Man films, and I think one of the reasons Spider-Man rarely ever misses on film, is because you don't necessarily have to know much more than Spider-Man.
Right.
And you can go in knowing just, okay, this is Spider-Man. It's a simpler setup, and you don't have to
Yes.
know 20 different backgrounds or have seen 50 movies or
Well, the same way his story's been told a billion times,
exactly.
so you know about his uncle.
yes.
And so I feel like the story, and that's good enough to know from that point.
And I think as we get to Doomsday and then Secret Wars and maybe even a Secret Wars Part 2, I've heard rumors about that too. Once we reset what the MCU looks like, hopefully in 2028, 2029, whatever, the crossovers have been fun. The Avengers,
Yes.
it's been such a fun experience. But at this point, I think a lot of people are having just like superhero rot in their brain or whatever.
100%.
And I think if you're going to have a successful franchise at that point, maybe less crossovers and
Yes.
maybe just simple, like our universes are separate, like type thing. Like, yeah, we might share a universe, but this is our problem. Like Spider-Man is off on Spider-Man's own. X-Men are doing X-Men thing. We don't need X-Men convoluting with Daredevil. Like as cool as that is, like when we were kids, when we'd get the action figures out and we'd cross over these worlds, or you see it in the comics. For the movie universes or whatever, I think if you're going to see success, it's going to have to be just simple setups, and you can tell stories within those own little pocket universes.
Absolutely.
Universes, not universes.
Universi.
Universi, yes. Let's move on. We saw a clip of Toy Story 5 over the past couple of weeks.
We did not.
You did not?
As you said, you're still not getting me to see this.
Still won't make me watch Toy Story.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Kyle.
Yeah.
What did you think of the clip?
Well, the first off, like the clip is pretty much introducing you to the character. What's its name?
Is it Lilypad?
Lilypad.
Yes.
It's a tablet, and it's a kid's tablet, and it's introducing you to her into the Toy Story world, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And I thought it's great. It's honestly a great representation. I have a 4-year-old daughter who has a tablet. Who honestly, we've like very much pulled back on the amount of tablets she gets to play on because it became so much of a.
Fight?
This is not. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's no longer just another fun toy. It's I'm not going to listen to anything else that's happening if I've got my tablet.
Right.
And the same way, you literally can have television, a movie on that she wanted to watch, but then she's going to grab the tablet and start watching a different movie or something else instead. And it's like, well, here, we can just put this on TV. No, I don't want it on TV. I want it on tablet. And it's
overload.
It is. And we started to see like a lot of attention things and problems. So we've like taken that way back. We're not anti-tablet. It's not a simple, like, you get to watch tablet all the time anymore.
Right.
But for what they did, I thought it was great. It's the same way that Jesse's trying to talk to the tablet. Mm-hmm. And the tablet does what we often do as adults that our kids end up seeing and doing the same thing. As Jesse's talking to her, the tablet just starts scrolling the news, like, or whatever, and just doing its own thing, like, while she's talking. He's like,
Yes.
and just, like, scrolling her feed. And it's like, how often do we just pull out our phones? And we're like, sure, yeah, I'm listening.
Scrolling.
Yeah, and Jesse's like, you're not listening to me. She's like, actually, I am, and literally plays back exactly what Jesse said. He was like, here, it is in Spanish. Like, and so often that's the thing. But truthfully, I don't know if we needed another Toy Story movie. I don't. Like, they've done great with what they have, but I feel like if you're going to do one, this is the route to go. And it makes the most sense to relate even more to today's kids and generation of, us being kid range-ish when the first one came out. Mm-hmm. It made sense. We wouldn't have tablets. We might have had a Game Boy or something like that, or video games. Mm-hmm. But today it is a thing where people are seeing less and less of kids as they get, to a certain age. And it's not old, but it's just immediately like all on a phone or a tablet instead of actually spending time with imagination, playing with toys, going outside and doing things. So
yeah, I think what Toy Story has done, it has really just captured like the essence of the moments we're living in now.
Sure.
So when 96, kids played with toys, and mm-hmm. they created their own little, like I alluded to earlier, you would take Potato Head and T-Rex and their, rivals or their friends, or like they would create mm-hmm. their own stories. Like they had imagination.
Well, same with the first
fan fiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did.
So it turns out you would love Toy Story. You just didn't know.
We did fan fiction before fan fiction was fan fiction.
In the same way, it made me think of it though, because as you say it, and I don't mean to interrupt, but that first movie, and it continues, but you see a lot of like sets that were made out of like cardboard boxes. Yes. Which was very much a thing we did as kids, or at least I did.
Yeah.
Where like we didn't have, we did have some, and again, but we didn't have big layers for our characters or toys, and they sold them obviously. Mm. But how often did we just like cut up a cardboard box and make this like a superhero hangout or something? And I did that for Sky like a year ago, and she was just blown away that like you could make a whole house out of a box versus having to have like all the Disney castles. Mm-hmm. And again, like she's spoiled and has them anyway, but like. Still, that was something important to her versus how often the kids do that now versus.
Yeah, absolutely. So like, and so Toy Story 96, 99, we had toys being toys. In 2010, that was updated to where, okay, the people who watched this in 96 are now going off to college or they're now adults or whatever. And it's the idea of separating from your toys and cleaning out your, and again, it hits that moment. And now we're in a moment where technology is just kind of ruling everything. AI is ruling everything. And I think it's smart to kind of lean into that. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I don't know if we needed another Toy Story. Mm-hmm. I think it ended really well in 3, and I think it ended really well in 4. Mm-hmm. But just just because we didn't need it necessarily doesn't mean we can't enjoy it.
Sure.
And I think
they're going to make something either way.
Yeah, they're going to try to make money off of us either way. I mean,
at least if you can relate to it and understand it.
And at least it sounds like they're making it, like you said, relatable, but also like good. So I enjoyed seeing the clip. I I don't have kids, but I teach a lot of kids, and I do understand how technology is not only ruling the home, but it's also ruling the classroom. And some of the battles we have because kids are overstimulated and because they're used to having a tablet or a phone or something with them 24/7, like they do not know how to cope and be social people. So it's going to be really interesting to see that dynamic play out on the screen. And maybe Pixar has done a really good job with, like, I know the Inside Out movies. I finally started watching them a couple years ago. The first one, and then the last one came out. Was it last year or the year before last?
I like at least was on Disney Plus last year. I watched it.
And those movies are incredible. And they, like, I was like, I wish I'd have saw this as a kid. Like, I mean, and as an adult, I can understand. Like, okay, so I'm wondering if Pixar is going to be doing it again with. Okay, we're going to explain to you adults and all you kids the effect that technology has on your brain.
And, and I like that too because, again, the first thought that hit me watching it was not immediately Sky being on a tablet, but seeing that scene where all of a sudden Jesse's talking and the phone starts, or like the tablet starts scrolling through news or whatever. It's like, I do that way too much.
I do too.
And it's not the first time I've caught it, but at the same time I have realized, like, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, it doesn't matter. You still do it too often instead of fully paying attention to who you're talking to in the moment. But especially as a parent now, they see you on your phone so much or whatever you're doing. And so that's what's normal to them. And so you have to kind of rethink what you're doing because whatever they're watching you do is turning into what the normal is for them. And not going on some big lecture. Like, it's just me recognizing it for myself.
Right.
But it definitely, in the short clip of what it was immediately already hit me in. That's something my daughter deals with. That's something that I deal with that I need to be more aware of anyway. So, hey, if the movie sticks with it and continues to be that well thought out, Toy Story is going to sell regardless of what it is. Yes. But still, it at least seems like it's not just a cash grab. It at least makes sense to have what they're talking about.
Moving on. Unfortunately, we had some sad news over the past month. We lost Chuck Norris, Robert Duvall, and Nicholas Brendan. I want to take a moment just to honor these actors and these icons. I know we each probably had different relationships with them. Some of them might not be as recognizable to us, but let's just take a moment. And if we want to talk about, like, some of our favorite memories of any of these people, and we'll just go from there. So, Ashby, would you like to get us started?
Yeah.
Get us started. I cannot speak today.
Get us started, man.
Look,
get us started. Started us.
Gentlemen, start your engines. Yeah. So Walker Texas Ranger night in the Braham household was sacred.
Saturday night at 10 o'clock.
Yes, we got together as a family and watched Walker Texas Ranger. Now, were some of those episodes probably a little adult for Hunter and I to be watching? Yes, but also it went over our heads.
Sure.
So it was fine. But we were so into Chuck Norris, in fact, that my dad had a business colleague in another state that everyone joked looked very similar to Chuck Norris. And so one year my dad got a Walker Texas Ranger poster and had that guy sign it as Chuck Norris and gave it to my brother. So for a long time, we thought that my brother had a signed Chuck Norris poster.
That is awesome.
He did not.
Hey.
So yeah, just it's been a long year. We're in March. It's been a long year.
It's been a long year
of celebrity deaths, and I don't know if it's because we're getting older and this is just the natural sort of rhythm of life but it also feels like a lot of these people are just way too young. So it's been difficult, like with Catherine O'Hara, and it just seems like every time I open Instagram now, it's like there's a celebrity that's died.
It's happening fast enough now that Tim Hutchinson is having to catch up.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't know him, sorry, but
Yes.
previous history, Tim used to be our go-to of...
He knew before everyone else somehow.
And now he's the one catching up.
I know.
So, sorry
It's
to
been
interrupt you,
insane.
but that was just the pattern's changed now.
Shout out Tim.
Yeah. And Robert Duvall, it just not sort of on my radar, like obviously one of the greatest actors of our time, but not someone that I paid a lot of attention to. Nicholas Brendan was hard because it's like, oh, well, he's young, right? And Buffy has always been like a huge touchstone for me early in life, getting into shows that were supernatural in nature, a little bit darker, interesting, about friend groups who stuck together no matter what. And sort of had these archetypes that I could follow along or that I could mirror in my own friend groups. And, also vampires. At some point in high school, I decided to make vampires my entire personality, and nothing much has changed. So it was really hard seeing that specifically, especially amongst some of the other things that were happening in that fandom at the time that I will talk about later in my useless aggression.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Somehow Eric and I already knew that's what your useless aggression was.
Yeah, last month's episode is already not relevant.
Yeah.
I'll talk really quick about Chuck Norris. Me and Ashby, we had the same childhood when it came to Saturday nights in the Creech household. We were home and we watched Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and Early Edition, and Walker, Texas Ranger, and then the spinoff, was it Sons of Thunder? Was the spinoff that was like a 1 year spinoff?
I don't think we watched that. I think my parents were like, absolutely.
I've never heard of that.
Yes. But Walker, Texas Ranger for 8 seasons was like just iconic, and we had to watch all of it. And before I knew what a season finale was, there was always a cliffhanger sometime in May. It's like, wait, I gotta wait for like 4 months to find out. Did Walker make it? I'm sure he did. Otherwise,
kids these days will never know.
No.
But it was just like just iconic television. Yeah, as a child, they don't play like stuff on like Saturday nights anymore. Like I think it's like movies or like news programs or whatever. Like I don't think you have programming on like broadcast television like that anymore. So
yeah. Also, that was probably my first instance of like understanding what suspending belief means. Like before the Fast and Furious drove cars to space.
Yes.
Walker, Texas Ranger roundhouse kicked a dude through a car windshield.
Yes,
which is
and
totally
you got 5 angles and 3 slow mos.
Yes,
and it was great.
Beautiful.
It was wonderful. I know there was a clip going around of who was the kid, the kid actor.
Yes.
Yeah, like that clip going around. Like Walker told me I had, and I'm not going to say it, like because it's family friendly. But but it's like, and now everyone just has this look on their face, like, oh, we're going there.
Yeah, 100%. They did some really interesting
like they kind of
things.
Yeah, they were kind of ahead of their time on the story of the week or whatever. Like,
yes,
I don't know. They were really good about that. So.
Yeah.
And then Robert Duvall, I'll say he had a legendary career, but I will just give a personal shout out to his role in the Will Ferrell comedy Kicking and Screaming, where Robert Duvall played a rival coach, and it was quite hilarious. Like I know he was known for like The Godfather and
serious,
like really serious, but he was also in 4 Christmases with Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon, and he was like one of the dads. Like I don't know if you have y'all seen that movie 4 Christmases.
It's been a very long time.
Where the couple, all their parents are split, or so they have to go to Christmas 4 times in one day, or over the 2 days of Christmas Eve and Christmas. And Robert Duvall was one of the. I think it was Vince Vaughn's dad or whatever. Okay. So, but yeah, so
add that to the list for Christmas movies this year.
I remember Robert Duvall mostly for that. And, it's just hilarious. Unfortunately, didn't have a great relationship, or knowing Nicholas Brendan, I wasn't into Buffy, but I know it's the fans of Buffy are just devastated because I mean, like you said, he was very, very young.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, do you have any?
I don't really have a lot to add, especially for the other two. I feel like they had their place with it, and I don't want to just keep adding. But my family was the same. I don't remember often, other than maybe like I Love Lucy. But we would gather together, watch Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and then this as well. And so Chuck Norris just existed in our universe. Same way I feel like there's a couple other actors and actresses that did as well, because you would see him on infomercials later or just other things.
The Bowflex.
Yeah, there's so much. There's so many things that you just associated it with.
Right.
And just because that was TV programming as a kid, you didn't have just streaming as you do now. So there was a lot of stuff like that you'd end up just watching because it was on the television.
I did forget to mention Chuck Norris's best cameo was in the movie Dodgeball, where he shows up as the 3rd judge that allows the average Joes to go to a playoff.
That's right.
And the very end of that movie has Ben Stiller basically saying bleeping Chuck Norris.
Right.
And that's the end of the movie. Like, I won that game.
Yeah.
That was my extent with it, because he's just an icon of just everybody just knowing him. And I know in a second, I believe we're going to talk about just the Chuck Norris facts that became a giant thing.
I don't know
follow.
how did they become a thing, because
I
remember when they were a thing.
They were
It
just
was
a part of the cultural zeitgeist.
like late 2000s, I think, like when we
Maybe.
were in college age or whatever. Like they were just when the internet was really starting to boom
right.
into
It's like one of the first memes.
Yes, exactly. Like
Yeah.
meme culture was starting to take off, and it's like, okay.
Yes.
Do y'all have a favorite Chuck Norris joke or Chuck Norris fact?
I
Or-
do.
Okay.
I do. And it's not the funniest one, but it's the one I remember the most because it was one of the 10 Chuck Norris jokes
On the poster?
that they got Chuck Norris to read
Oh,
in
okay.
person during an interview he did many, many years ago. And so the joke is Chuck Norris doesn't pay his taxes. He just sends a photo of himself doing a roundhouse kick to the IRS. And what was funny about the joke is after he read it, he paused and he said, I just want everyone to know that Chuck Norris does pay his taxes.
I mentioned the poster because my boss, I don't think it's there anymore. It maybe is, but for the longest time, he had a poster on his
Yes.
filing cabinet or whatever in his office that was at least maybe top 10 like Chuck Norris jokes. So that's just immediately where
So
my mind
good.
went.
My mind goes to like the boogeyman checks under his bed for Chuck Norris. You know how you check under your bed for the boogeyman? Or Ghost tell Chuck Norris stories at campfires.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he needs.
I had to look them up because obviously some came to mind, but I also made a list of 3 because I was afraid out of the billions that are out there, what's the chance that still I might
Of
not
having
have
overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go through the 3 real quick because I thought they were funny, but Chuck Norris didn't dial the wrong number. You answered the wrong phone. Then when Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, he already had 3 missed calls from Chuck Norris. And then lastly, Chuck Norris has a grizzly bear rug in his bedroom. It's not dead. It's just too scared to move. So for those out there that don't even have a clue what we're talking about, the Chuck Norris facts, jokes, whatever, these are the type of things that exist if you just want to Google and just find all the things.
This one is relevant to today. Chuck Norris doesn't worry about high gas prices. His vehicles run on fear.
Exactly.
How can I get that installed on mine?
So good.
And then one was very popular. Chuck Norris tears cure cancer. Too bad he has never cried.
Yep. There you go.
So-
Yep.
I remember that one.
Mhm.
Yes. Very cool. We'll move on. Kyle, we saw Scream, not together, but we did see Scream in the last month. Let's give a quick review, like just a very quick. We both went to see it. Let's talk about the movie real quick, and then
As I mentioned last episode, my wife is the big Scream queen, especially specifically Scream. So we were really excited to go, and she really enjoyed it. First off, so that just says a lot more than just my experience with it.
Right.
But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I don't know how qualified I am to say, so some people out there, may judge me for that. But I thought it was good, and I'm not going to try to spoil anything, but I do feel like I like how they brought back some characters and how they used those characters in this
Right.
movie. And then there was definitely a few iconic death scenes that happened that I think we'll probably talk about in the future. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was worth it. I would suggest you going. I know you were afraid of how they were going to use characters in the same way with I Know What You Did Last Summer. No, that wasn't it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know
the
what you did
original.
last summer.
Okay. But yeah, I feel like they used the characters they brought back in a way that justified it good
Okay.
enough. Anyway.
I'm definitely going to see it. I just didn't know if I was going to see it in theaters. I'll probably wait for it to stream, but I will watch it.
Yeah.
I would say that of the Scream movies, it's probably in the middle tier. I think
Okay.
it's going to be hard to touch Scream 1 and Scream 2. I think they are
Yeah.
probably just, I guess in terms of our nostalgia or whatever, they're just really going to be up there, and it's going to be hard to top those. And I think Scream 4 did a really good job of kind of reaching that mountain. I think this movie, like you said, it used legacy characters really well. And it had a lot of nice little callbacks and tie-ins, and
It's not overly done either, where it's just the whole movie of
yes,
throwing it back.
But it is a fresh. I do think it's a fresh take. I will say that one of the killer reveals was very disappointing and kind of a letdown, to the point where I had to be like, "Who are you again?"
See, not quite that, but that's how I felt when I was watching I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Right, but
It did still have me guessing a lot of the movie. Of
it did, but the resolution to that was honestly quite hilarious.
Okay. Okay.
So I think they did a really good job of setting this up, and I think they are obviously exploring Scream 8.
Right.
This is probably not a spoiler if you've been following Scream 7, but the Carpenter sisters, played by Melissa Ortega and oh gosh, who played Sam?
Good with names.
You're talking about Jenna Ortega.
Or yeah, I said Melissa Ortega, Jenna Ortega, and Melissa Barrera.
That's it.
There we go. I did the math
Combined
there. They're not in this movie. For you can go look at why. I do hope in the future they bring them back to kind of tie in their stories and finish their, kind of conclude
I
their
thought
stories.
they were when they were introduced. It was sort of like, I thought, a way for the franchise to finally let Nev Campbell retire.
Yeah, let her go keep doing the Lincoln Lawyer and be happy with that.
But she's been willing to come back, which is great, But what are they going to do? Yeah, when they finally don't have Sidney Prescott,
Right.
And I thought that they did a great job of like coming in and making those roles their own and not trying to sort of like do what she was doing, but really fill those shoes pretty well. And I would have been happy to see the franchise continue with them. So I agree that I would like them to come back.
Absolutely. Same. And I will say this: I love Courtney Cox. She is an icon for the Scream movies and Friends.
Iconic.
At this point, I feel like Courtney Cox is doing a parody of Courtney Cox in these movies.
Yes.
And as much as I love her,
right.
I would be okay if she did not appear.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, look, how much of that is Courtney Cox? How much of that is the writers? But yeah, I do feel like she's doing a Gail Weathers bit at this point.
Yes. Like it's a parody of Gail Weathers, parody of and it's like, you're trying a little too hard at this point.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't seen Scream, if you're a fan of horror movies, I'd say go see it. I think it's a good time. It's not like the best movie ever, but it's not a terrible. I don't think you're going to get I Know What You Did Last Summer vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Good to know.
Now, speaking about not knowing anything about scary movies or anything in general, WrestleMania 42 is coming up next month, Ashby.
So
exciting!
I'll have a get together at our house.
Get your Slim Jims ready.
You and Daniel are welcome to come that weekend. Ashby, let's just be real. You know nothing about professional wrestling.
I know absolutely nothing.
Like zero, right?
Yeah.
Like, what is your frame of reference? Like, can you even name name some wrestlers that you might know of from pop culture? Like
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, yeah.
The Undertaker.
Yes.
Corey Rhodes.
Try again.
Something Rhodes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That covers a lot of people.
He has a star on his face.
He used to. Yes.
He was good friends with Stephen Amell.
Yeah, he was an Arrow. Cody Rhodes is who you're looking for. Yes.
Guys, same. Come on. My brother watched wrestling throughout the late 90s, early 2000s. And so, I'm probably like the LaCroix of wrestling. The wrestling was in the room with me, but I was not paying attention. So there you go. That's it. That's my reference.
All right. Well, with that said, I'm going to give you a list of matches that are confirmed for WrestleMania 42.
Okay.
It's going to be happening April 18th and April 19th. They have 2 nights of WrestleMania now.
Very exciting. 42 years of wrestling. We're celebrating.
WrestleMania 1 was in 1985. I wasn't born. You weren't born.
Wait, is that right? Is that why it's called 42? Did I get that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
42 years of wrestling?
42 years of WrestleMania,
wow.
yes.
Okay.
So WrestleMania debuted in
WrestleMania. I mean, did WrestleMania invent wrestling? Probably. There's no way to know.
No, it's been around since the 60s or 50s or even longer, really.
There's no way to know. How would we know?
Apparently there's a rumor that Abe Lincoln was like one of the first traveling wrestlers.
Vampire hunters?
Yes, that too.
He did it all.
He did it all. So I'm going to give you a list of WrestleMania matches, and I just want you to pick the winner.
Okay.
Whoever you think is going to win the match.
Okay.
So we'll start with one of the main events.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes, who is the WWE champion, defending his title against Randy Orton.
I'm going to go for Randy Orton, underdog. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
Reminds me of Randy Savage.
Sure. Yeah.
Feel like he could channel that energy.
I think they both heard voices in their head.
Maybe they win. I don't know.
I think it's her inner Slytherin coming out picking the Viper.
Yes, the Viper, Randy Orton.
Yes.
All right. CM Punk, who is the World Heavyweight Champion, facing Roman Reigns.
I guess we'll go with the Punk guy.
All right, the Punk guy. I think you would like CM Punk.
I do too.
Okay. That's a weird name. I dig it.
Jade Cargill, the WWE Women's Champion, defending against Rhea Ripley.
Is Rhea Ripley blonde?
No, she used to be.
She's like goth.
She's very goth.
Oh. Okay.
Which, truthfully, I don't know if you might would like her.
Okay.
You're a vampire person.
Yeah, let's go for her then.
Okay.
I'm trying to picture her.
Stephanie Vakir, the women's world champion, defending against Liv Morgan.
I'm gonna go with Liv Morgan.
You probably Liv Morgan at one of their Saudi Arabia shows a couple years ago wore a Britney Spears like red inspired outfit, like the red like bodysuit or whatever, and it was very like 90s Britney or like
It's
late
from the
90s
music video.
Yes, from the music video. So I think you would like her.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi.
Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
He's having a good run.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. And then we have 3 more confirmed matches. AJ Lee, who is the women's intercontinental champion, and
Okay.
she's married to CM Punk, versus Becky Lynch, who's Irish.
I do love the fighting Irish. I'm gonna go for Becky Lynch.
I was about to say I feel like if you watched wrestling, that would be your person.
You would
Okay.
love the man Becky Lynch. She was the man
Oh,
before
see, I love it.
Taylor Swift did
Okay.
the song.
Okay.
So
Gotcha. The inspiration, maybe, if you will.
Drew McIntyre, the Scottish psychopath, the Scottish warrior, Drew McIntyre,
Okay.
versus Jacob Fatu. He's a Samoan werewolf. Or the
Well-
Samoan werewolf is his name. Is his nickname.
It's just
There
there was
are
actually a
multiple
werewolf.
Samoan werewolves. Is he actually a werewolf? Does he
No,
transform in the
he
ring?
does not, but he's very
Okay.
scary.
I was about to say back
Okay.
to your vampire days. We
Yeah.
know you're a vampire, not a werewolf.
So
Yeah, but I mean, I do love
Scotland
werewolves.
versus Samoan werewolves. I mean,
I love Scotland, though.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with the Samoan werewolf.
all right. And then last one, Sami Zayn, who's the United States champion,
Okay.
versus Trick Williams.
Trick Williams.
Trick Williams. Good
What a
pick.
name.
Good pick.
Now, is the WrestleMania is under which umbrella?
WWE.
WWE. Okay,
Yes.
so amongst the matches, is there also like, things happening, stuff?
Like
like background stuff.
background like
Yeah,
stories.
like fun,
Yeah.
fun little,
Yeah.
There's stories and stuff added. I will say, like, usually with WrestleMania, there's some stories, but I don't feel like it's as much as like on TV nowadays. You see more of the stories that are
Okay.
building up to this moment.
Like WrestleMania is literally, I think, for the casual person, like someone who they're
Gotcha.
trying to hook into
Gotcha.
wrestling. So,
Okay.
like
It's
it's
not
not
bringing
like,
some famous people. And
yeah,
stuff
I
like
think
that.
if you just watch it or whatever, then you're not required to, like they'll give you backgrounds on everything before the match, and they'll have
Okay.
backstage interviews, and
Okay.
I mean it's.
But are
it's
we still
fun.
doing like the '90s gimmick stuff?
No.
Like
Like-
if I predict that someone drops into the ring through the roof via a helicopter, does that happen anymore?
They do have some over the top entrances for like WrestleMania and stuff, but it's not like there's very few like
Okay.
gimmicky.
I will
type
say
characters. There
they've
are a
recently
couple.
brought one back, Danhausen.
Danhausen, yes,
which I love. I think you would like.
I think you would love Dan. He's
He's
Okay.
very nice,
He cur-
very
he-
evil, and
yes,
he curses
He
everybody.
curses people. Yes,
Yes.
And his curses work.
he's
so far that we've
5-0
Okay.
in curses since
Okay.
since he's come to the WWE. So
I'm also going to predict that one of the wrestlers marries a random audience member at
Okay.
center ring.
okay, cool.
I don't know what those odds
I
are.
feel like that
but
would be fun.
I know Tom
So-
Brady's been going back and forth with somebody. I don't remember who it is.
Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, Logan Paul. So
Yeah, Logan Paul's in wrestling, by the way. That's probably not a way to get you in because it's
Yeah.
a way that turns me
And
out.
maybe that one guy is going to lose his match, but then that girl he's married to comes in with a folding chair and just like helps him out. That's also a prediction.
I like it.
Yeah.
we'll make these notes now. And
Yeah.
as these things
As these
exactly
things
happen,
happen, like-
we're gonna be shocked.
Write this down.
We're gonna get Ashby on the phone, like, hey, quick reaction.
You guys are going to be watching it in real time, and you're just going to be like texting me.
What the heck?
How
What
did
is
you
happening?
know?
What is happening? Ashby, what is happening?
All right, looking ahead, this podcast will air in early April. I want y'all to give me the one to watch, your personal pick for something that you are looking forward to in April.
I would say You, Me, and Tuscany. I'm really excited about, and I can't remember if that's Amazon or Netflix, but it is Halle Bailey and
The Little Mermaid.
yes, and Jean Rene Page, the guy from the first season of Bridgerton.
Okay.
And it's a really fun, beautiful little rom-com where she like sort of crashes this guy's villa in Rome, in like Tuscany, like outside of Rome, and she's a chef, and it just looks fun. It looks cute, so I'm excited about watching it.
We saw that in the trailer for that for Screen 7.
Yes.
And it really looked good.
It looks
like
really
a really
fun.
fun one. We hadn't seen something like that in a while, I don't feel like.
Yeah.
Cool. Kyle?
I'm looking for a different one, and we're going to do Malcolm in the Middle revival.
Okay.
It's coming out. It says Life's Still Unfair. It comes out on Disney Plus, I think, and Hulu, like April 10th, I think. Something I grew up watching Malcolm in the Middle some. I wasn't like a hardcore fan, and I think it's only like 4 episodes or something like it's a mini series thing, and most of the cast, other I think, then like one person came back.
Yeah.
So I'll tune in and check it. I will throw one thing out there just real fast. Erica and I went to Charlotte I guess this month still, and saw comedian Derek Stroop that came through.
Yes.
He just did get a Netflix special this past month, or March, as we're recording now this month. And so it's out there on Netflix. It's pretty family safe. There's some topics, but
It's
whatever.
hilarious. We watched it last
as a group.
weekend, yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
he's a guy that he's like 41. So for our demographic, obviously we grew up in the Belt, same time thing. He's from Alabama, lives in New York now. Totally like some fun things with that. But that's what tuned me into him anyway. It was just a lot of stuff he joked about was just stuff we literally experienced in life growing up.
Like
So-
one of the things that he touched on that I can relate to is like, you had two kinds of kids growing up. You had the kids who, got dropped off in the car rider line. They always started their day with like "Have a great day, we love you," and then you had kids who started their day with a threat. I swear to God, if you miss this bus, I will. Like that whole bit about riding the bus. He's like, I went to a K-12 school. You had the whole bus on one school bus, and it's like the further back you went on that bus, it's like going deeper into the internet. We had 3rd graders sitting with 10th graders, and
Exactly.
you learned
Insane.
some things.
So that back row is the dark web.
Yeah.
He's like, "What's 3-6 Mafia? I think I might like that."
You did learn some things.
Yes, you did.
I definitely recommend that. Just
Awesome.
extra added in there.
I'm going to go even a more different route. It's April, and April has my favorite tradition, which is a tradition unlike any others, the Masters on CBS.
I totally thought you were going like Charlie Brown.
No.
It's like, what?
I'm a massive just fan of golf. I play golf. Love to play golf. It's one of the things that I'm both good and bad at the same time.
That's the beauty of golf.
You always end like on a really good shot. And it's like, okay, I'm going to keep chasing that high.
Right.
But the Masters is just an iconic tournament. It's beautiful. Augusta National is a beautiful course. And I don't know if you can. I can. Just talking about it, I can hear like the little iconic piano like in the background. Doon 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 doon. Yeah. So I look forward to that every year. And so I'm very much excited to be watching that. And also, me and Ivy are going to see the Savannah Bananas. They're coming to Chapel Hill.
Nice.
And
Get to see Jackson in real life.
Yes. And
So cute.
So we're excited about that. That's also the same weekend as the Masters. So going to be getting a lot of sports that weekend, which is really, really
Nice.
cool. So, all right. Well, that was our Block A. Before the draft that we'll get to in just a second, let's talk about a snack that doesn't play by the rules. Are you tired of chips that just sit there? You need Voltos. They are the only potato chip blasted with actual electrolytes and neon blue dust. Voltos. Obey the crunch. Look for the bag with the shark wearing sunglasses at your local Gas and Go.
Heck yeah.
So,
Shark wearing sunglasses.
yeah. Was that a real product, Voltos?
I'm hoping it was.
I hope
I'm
it was.
hoping
too.
it was.
I asked for like some.
I was hoping you made it up personally. But
I
then
really don't know if it was, but now I want to try them.
I'm just figuring that Gatorade made some potato chips at some point and like just
That's
sold
kinda
it.
what it sounds
So,
like.
Yeah.
Clear the stage. It is time for Whatchella. All right, so we do have Coachella coming up in April, one of the biggest music festivals like ever. And today, Kyle, Ashby, and I are all playing promoter. We are each building a 5-act lineup, okay? And we have some rules for. We're going to be drafting these musical performers or artists for our own lineup. First of all, we can only draft performers from 1994 to 2006 because and that seems kind of arbitrary, but you graduated in 2006, so that was my cutoff.
Yes.
And then I figured like 94, we were all kind of in elementary school, but kind of like, that gives us just kind of a
More
wide
culturally
range. It gives you a little more
little.
options. I didn't want to completely cut off some of the early 90s stuff.
Yeah.
I just figured you wanted to make sure I didn't get to see Nirvana.
Yes,
You
that
were
was
like, let me get that specific date to make sure he
Yes,
can't see Nirvana.
absolutely. So the rules, you can only draft performers from 1994 to 2006. When you draft a performer or a band, you must specify the era or the album year. So, for example, 2000s No Strings Attached in Sync. Okay, that means you get everything from that album and anything they've done before.
Yes.
Okay. You can draft your selections like in any order. So I'm going to go over what spots we're trying to fill.
Okay.
But you don't have to take your main act first. You can take any, whatever. But you must announce what slot your selection is going into when you draft them.
Okay.
Here are the slots that we have available. You have your headliner, which is your Saturday night closer, peak stadium energy. You have your semi-headliner. This is kind of like your co-main event. It's the sunset slot, kind of sets the mood. You have your support act, high energy afternoon set. Then you have your up-and-coming band. This must be the exact year of their debut album. So for this slot, you have to pick someone who debuted that year, and you only get their debut stuff. And then you have your wild card, your secret sauce, your one-hit wonders, your niche acts, your comedians, or just maybe you just want another musical guest in there. Who knows? There's no duplicates, so once an act is taken, they cannot be taken again, even in a different year or era. So the same rules apply to single performers who were in a band. If you take a band, you or someone else cannot take a performer from that band. So if we were doing like the 70s and Ashby took the Beatles, I cannot take Paul McCartney.
Okay.
Or if Ashby took Paul McCartney, I cannot take the Beatles.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we're doing snake draft rules. Once each person makes a selection, the draft, it'll go in order. And then when it gets to the bottom of the order, it'll loop back around. So I think our order is Ashby, Kyle, and then myself.
Okay.
And then for the second round, it starts with me, back to Kyle, then Ashby, and we go in that order from there. Do you have any questions?
No. I got so weird with it. I feel confident. I did not pick any alts.
There was a second that I was like, I probably should turn my iPad so Ashby can't see what my choices are. But then I'm like, she didn't pick anybody.
There's
on
no
my
way.
list.
There's no way.
There is one particular performer I am very scared about.
I don't think you should be, because when I tell you, I got real weird. I think people are going to be surprised.
Okay.
And I still pick, like, I don't mean I went like off brand or off personality, but I dove real deep in to like some things.
A little throwback to our old episodes. We're taking a
deep dive.
Deep dive.
I deep dived into myself and my soul, and I thought a lot about some of the like more weird esoteric things I was into at the time.
Right.
And I worked a set around those vibes.
All right. Well, Ashby, you have the first pick. Go ahead and start us off. Who are you taking and what slot?
I'm going to go with the headliner. Okay. Peak stadium energy. I'm going to go with Goo Goo Dolls, 1998, Dizzy Up the Girl.
Wow. Very good.
It's going to be raining. I'm going to be crying.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
I hope nobody takes anybody else, because that was my one backup that I brought today.
Wow. I had them on my backup list as well, but I also have a lot of backups. So I'm not really worried about Kyle for some of my stuff. There's like one thing that I'm worried that Kyle might take, but it's not on my for sure list. So, so Goo Goo Dolls from 98 is your headliner.
So
That's
good.
Goo Goo Dolls had just a really great
especially that particular album.
Yes.
It was just like banger after banger after banger. I mean, that album does not quit.
What's going to be their closing song?
I mean, I think it has to be Iris.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
It's raining by then.
Just making
because
sure.
it's raining by then.
She also doesn't want to rain earlier because she doesn't want to have to stop and only play Iris.
That is correct.
Fair enough. All right, Kyle, you're up for number 2.
As I mentioned earlier, I did have a brief moment with my list of almost doing an entire list. It took me like an hour, thinking you were saying only artists that played Coachella from like 94 to 2006. And I was like, it didn't start till 99. And then rereading, I was like, oh, that's not what he said at all. So I remade
Reading
my
matters,
list.
people.
It does. And then it was so hard because I'd been so like hard trying to find that one. And then now it opened up to the entire world. And so it was so much harder to put a list together. And so I started to, but then I was like, you know what? Let's put a list together of bands that I've always wanted to see, but have yet to see. So this would be my, like, throw them all on one stage, get to go that one night, and just see, like, at least around top 5 bands I would still want to see. They've yet to see them. Gotcha. So I'll start with the headliner as well. We're going to close the night with the Foo Fighters.
Yes.
I specifically went with 2005 album In Your Honor, but I mostly picked that one because like best of views on that album, and if I'm going to see him, I would like to see that as well. But One by One is the album before that, and that's when I really got into the Foo Fighters, especially my age it came out. It just perfect teenage Kyle, it fit. But knowing that you get all of their backlog before then that you get to still hear as well.
Did that album have All My Life on it?
Yes,
Yes,
the one before it did. Yeah,
that's my favorite song from them. So.
And so then you have like Everlong and My Hero and all the other stuff that still has already existed pre this. So they will definitely be my headliner for the night.
Cool. Good, awesome. That's a great pick too. And I think I'm going just a completely different direction. I think I'm going to give the people an alternative thing because y'all had great picks, and I thought about going those routes, but then I was like, you know what? Let me go with just I don't know. This is like peak 2004, 2005, 2006 energy. So I have back-to-back picks. So for my headliner, I'm going to be taking Usher from his Confessions era in 2005.
Okay.
Nice.
You have Confessions Part 1 and Part 2. You have Yeah. You have Let It Burn. But then you also go back and you've got You Got It Bad. You Remind Me. You Don't Have to Call. You have all these and I think he's going to, we saw him at the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, and like that was like, again, speaking to my high school senior like fanboy, like that was one of the best things I've ever saw. And I think this era 20 years ago or 21 years ago now is peak Usher. Like you are missing out on some of his later stuff, but I think this is where he kind of really peaked and hit the charts. So, and then my semi-headliner or my, I guess, my co-headliner or whatever, I'm going Justin Timberlake. The 2006 Future Sex Love Sounds album. So that means you get his Justified album. Maybe he does some like NSYNC stuff on his own or whatever,
Right.
but you get that album, which is, again, you missed out on the 2020 experience, which I think has his best songs, but this, I couldn't draft, 2012
Right.
Justin. But this album and the Justified album are more than enough, and I think it pairs well with Usher going on behind him. So
Yes.
those are my top two picks.
That's why I wasn't too worried. It's like I feel like when Eric gets going on this, that's the route he's going to go.
Yes.
So
Nice.
glad I didn't pick that one.
All right, Kyle, you're up for your second pick.
With this one, I'm going to do the same semi-headliner Sunset slot. This could have also gone for our one that's like technically up and coming or their debut album, but I'm going to go with Third Eye Blind. So 1997 Third Eye Blind.
Semi-chum kind of live.
It's one of those things, like especially if we're talking about that era. There's a lot of stuff about the singer and just him being very into himself that you can either like him or not like him. But if you're going back to this time period of, especially when that came out, you weren't thinking about that. You're just thinking about songs and stuff. But I'm also specifically Sunset slot, as it's like the sun's going down. It's so gorgeous and pretty. They're going to be playing Motorcycle Drive By.
Nice.
And then they follow up with God of Wine and end their set out that way.
I love it.
I love how I'm picking the artist, but also telling them what specifically they have to play and when. So,
well, and I think it's really cool if especially for your headliner and for your like, if you want to say like what song is going to be closing their set. I mean, so I'll for Usher, he's closing with Yeah. Maybe we can get Little John and Ludacris on stage with him. I don't know. And then Justin will be closing with. Does he close with what goes around comes around?
Cry Me a River.
Maybe Cry Me a River. I don't know. I didn't really think that far with Justin, but I know Usher's closing with Yeah. I think that's a really good pick. So one of the reasons we set the parameters to be a 12-year. You've got 6 years in the 90s. You have 6 years in the 2000s.
Yes.
It's kind of split because there's such a wide range of just great music in this era. And a band like Third Eye Blind is, I mean, if we had just done just the 6 years in the 90s or whatever, we would be cutting each other off first of all. But but there's so many great. I mean, I think Third Eye Blind is just such a great band, and I think they fit well with the Foo Fighters there.
Yeah.
So,
Also, an era of change.
Yes.
Yeah.
In music in a lot of ways,
Yes.
and change in how we listen to and absorbed and
Yes.
experienced music.
Absolutely. Ashby, you're up for two. You've got your second and third picks now. So
Okay. So my headliner, Sunset Slot, sets the mood. That's what you said.
yes.
Okay. I'm going Sarah McLachlan, 1997.
Oh, nice.
Surfacing.
Wow.
But she opens with a song she's already been famous for from the album before this. She opens with Possession
Okay.
as the sun sets. It's beautiful.
It sounds like it.
The
I
crowd
was not
falls
thinking her at
into
all.
like a hush. Yeah, but I'm not going to sing it.
I love that. I really
It's
love
like you're
that.
recording now. I'm not singing.
I'm not singing. Yeah. Okay. So then support act. So high energy afternoon set, like before we take it down and then bring it back up. I'm going with Muse 2006.
Oh, that's a good
Okay.
Black Holes and Revelations.
Yes. I had
And
them
they
on my
do
list,
close with Supermassive Black Hole.
Actually. Yes. That's great.
That's a great choice.
That's a really good choice.
Especially like you're gonna have all that and then leading into Sarah McLachlan after that.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm liking your
Changes the
show
mood.
a
Yeah.
lot.
Right?
Like,
I want to go to my show.
it's not really what I considered. Like outside of the Goo Goo Dolls, I did have Muse briefly on my list, but before I decided to change. But I'm like, that's a great show.
It's a great show.
All right.
This one being the high energy afternoon set, they could have honestly headlined it either way, but I went with Blink 182, and I went with 2003 self-titled Blink 182, just because I wanted to get as much as I could up to that point, and then all their backlog. Again, it's kind of a little weird with Third Eye Blind following them up, but I think they can fit if you're just considering this is just a big concert in general, like a festival. But being a high energy person or set, a band that I have yet to see but still would like to see, that's where I get
I
thrown
like
in
that.
at.
And I like that you have a theme of bands that I haven't seen.
I
but
had to
I'd
do
like see.
something.
I think that's
Yeah,
a really
that's
good
cool.
hook, and really kind of helps aid your draft selections a lot. So it gives you kind of a bigger parameter.
I honestly
So-
started my list of bands that I've seen, and I knew they were good, so I was going to put them. But then I'm like, if I'm putting this on, why am I just limiting myself to
Right.
that? Let's pick some stuff I have yet to see but want to.
Got you. All right. Well, I'm up for my next two picks, and for my afternoon set, this is where it gets hard because I have like 2, 3, 4. I have got 5 more things. And I've got 3 selections left, so someone's getting left off, and we'll talk about that in our like honorable mentions, I guess, after the draft. But I need, if I'm going full like pop R&B, whatever, I need like a cultural icon here. And so I'm grabbing Britney Spears 2000. Oops, I Did It Again.
Yes.
I know we have the Britney album that comes out a couple of years later, but I really just want her first 2 albums for this.
Yeah.
I
Especially
think
high energy afternoon
yeah,
set.
afternoon set. She's
Yeah.
not. She's a huge name, but
Yeah.
she won't overshadow
Right.
what's coming.
We've got Crazy. We've got
We've got
Soda Pop.
Oops, I Did It Again.
Oops, I Did It Again. Lucky.
Lucky, yes. Baby One More Time. I mean, I think it's a great afternoon set. So she's my third pick. And then this is where it gets hard. I don't know if I need to go with my up and coming artist, or because I'm not really going anything off the rails for my wild card. It's just deciding between which 2 are going to be my wild cards because they definitely fit the wild card energy. But I have two that I'm deciding here, and one I think really fits more of Kyle's motif. So I'm going to leave. I'm not going to be mean and take them.
Okay.
I'm going to grab Nelly's debut Country Grammar from 2000 as my
That's a
up
good
and coming artist. He's going to get the crowd hyped up early.
Yes, absolutely.
He's going to be the person who kind of sets the tone. And that album, you've got EI, you've got Ride With Me, you've got Country Grammar. I mean, you've so many, that album is actually like one of the first albums that I bought when I was underage or whatever, and I should not have bought. On our way to church camp, stopping at the Greensboro Mall. I don't know, what was the FIE or something in that mall, but
Oh yeah.
whichever teenager sold me that CD.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you
Random
because
employee of
Yeah.
Faith.
Thank you.
So,
You a real one.
you're
Yeah.
a real one for sure. But
changed
that,
Eric's life for the rest.
that album was great. So
I got to listen to that album because John Perry Wise let me borrow his because my parents would have absolutely lost their mind.
It's funny that we all had that friend.
Yeah.
yeah, so we all have that friend whose
Yeah.
parents didn't care, and
Yeah.
therefore
Michael Thompson got all of them.
Yep.
Come to find out, I think
Checks
his mom didn't care, his dad did care. It's
Yes.
turned into
Yeah.
a thing.
yes.
But they cared about him. That's what mattered most. Don't want to come
yes,
off that. His
absolutely.
parents.
Shout out to Polly,
Yeah, and Ronnie.
Ronnie.
They loved Michael.
and probably Mitchell too.
They do.
So
And all the grandkids.
and all, that's right. Kyle, you're up for your 4th pick. So you have your up and coming, like your debut artist, and you have your wild card available.
Yep. I'm going to do up and coming just because this is probably my least known band on my list. I did tell you guys, I was trying to stick more mainstream. There were a lot of bands that came out in this time period that I really liked, but at that point, you would just be listening to me naming off names of people you just had no connection to, probably, unless you're like in a small niche of people. But this one is the one band that kind of fits in that. It's a band I've always wanted to see, have yet to see them, but it's the early November. Their debut album, The Room's Too Cold, came out in 2003. And there's just a lot of great songs on that one specific album. They kind of would fit, I guess, in this lineup if you're going, assuming they're still a rock band, but they do have some pretty songs and then just more rock songs. It's not a lot of screaming or anything like that. But yeah, I've always wanted to see them, and so I'm gonna put them in there with that first album and go with that.
This is not who I thought you were going with, but maybe you saw this band, and that's why they weren't on your list. I won't. I mean, Ashby might pick them, so I'm gonna.
Well, it's not gonna ruin anything if you say it.
That's true.
I can't pick them now unless you're going to pick it.
She has 2 picks left, and I'm not picking them for my wild card. I thought you were going to go with Linkin Park, Hyper Theory. That was the other one I was kind of debating, but I went more of an R&B pop.
I haven't seen them,
type
yeah.
lineup, but Linkin Park was definitely like that. Still my favorite album from them.
I was just really like, this is one of those bands that's in the top 5 that I've always wanted to see. They came like 2 weekends ago. I was in Charlotte when they came. So that's my main reason for like focusing on somebody I really wanted to put there. I did really like Linkin Park, and it's a great album, and especially the debut album that would have made huge headliner. Could have fit yours.
Yeah. And especially, I mean, spoiler, I'm not drafting like Jay-Z or anything, but if I had grabbed Jay-Z, we could have had Linkin Park and Jay-Z's collaboration as well. So, but no, very good pick for you. And Ashby, you have 2 picks. So again, you have the wild card and you have your up and coming like opener.
So this is where Eric cuts me the eyes because I cheated.
No.
Yeah, I cheated. Okay, up and coming band. Here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
I picked them because while they technically were not having, the year I picked them is not their debut album. It's actually their 4th album. However, it is their first album under a major label after blowing up because they were featured on a soundtrack and finally being marketed as a mainstream genre band.
Honestly, I can forgive that.
Yeah, I thought that works.
So
I will not cut you the eyes anymore.
Thank you. I'm going with Switchfoot 2003, The Beautiful Letdown.
They were on my list as well.
Yeah.
As The Beautiful Letdown is my favorite album from them.
Yes, it's technically their 4th album.
Yes.
But it's the first album that they had under a major label, not being marketed as Christian rock.
Yep.
And they had just had a song on the Walk to Remember soundtrack.
Yes.
And so people were like, who is this band?
Yep.
Even though they'd already had 3 albums.
That was Dare You to Move, right?
Yes.
Yes. What? So does that close the set for them? Dare You to Move?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think somewhere in there they play On Fire, which is probably something they're not playing at that time because it's not one of the major hits on that album, but it's one of my favorite Switchfoot songs, so they're going to play it.
It's the only reason they're able to even play the show.
Exactly,
you said so.
because I said so. Yeah. So, yeah, I think they end with Dare You to Move at that point.
3 years ago, me and Ivy went to Wilmington. They were doing the Beautiful Letdown 20th anniversary tour. They played every song from their album.
I've never seen them in concert, and it makes me
They
so
were
sad.
so good. I cannot tell you how good they were. It is.
I need to get on that.
I have a list of favorite like concerts I've been to, and it's top 2 for me. I think my favorite is when we actually went to go see Need to Breathe at Red Hat 10 years ago. But I actually saw Switchfoot and Need to Breathe at a festival in Ohio, and that was a really good show. But they did every song from The Beautiful Letdown, and The Beautiful Letdown is one of my favorite songs. Like just the song itself is really great too.
Absolutely.
Ashby, oh my gosh, I underestimated you, and I'm very interested to see what you're going to do with this wild card spot, because if we do put up a poll, I might be voting for yours at this point.
Depending on the day, I'm going to a different concert. Can we make this a 3-day festival?
Well, yeah, it's a 3-day. We have Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, wild card. I started thinking about a band that would only fit into this festival I'm building thematically, because I'm the only one who understands the theme. And I'll tell you the theme if you want to know the theme later. But I built it around a theme, and I tried to think of a band that I would want to see based on the theme, but that doesn't quite fit into the vibe I've built with all the other acts. So my wild card is My Chemical Romance, 2004, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
Very nice.
They were on my original list, but I saw them in South Carolina.
That was the only one where I thought Kyle and I might have to fight for this.
I'd seen them, so other than that, like they would have made my list, but I'd seen that one. I saw them during that tour. Like,
Oh, so good.
It was
Thank
those-
you for the Venom. It's my favorite. My
it's the
favorite song.
wild era of living back then, like where
Yes.
you didn't have as much technology as we have today. And I was just at Will Howard's house, and he's like, "Hey, they're playing at House of Blues tomorrow night. That'd be cool." It's like, okay, let's buy tickets.
Let's go.
Wait a second, it's sold out. Well, I'm sure people will be selling tickets outside, so let's go. So it's in
So you
South
just
Carolina.
drove to Myrtle Beach.
We got in our van, like our band van that was like spray painted in a parking lot, drove to Myrtle Beach.
Of course.
And just met scalpers outside and like
Bought some tickets.
hoping that they actually were real and worked. And they were, and we saw friends there and stuff. And then like afterwards,
Wow.
we were trying to find a hotel and stayed at a Red Roof Inn for literally $20
You
something
didn't
dollars.
sleep in the van?
It had a couch in it. It did.
I mean,
but,
I'm just saying, you just rock, paper, scissors
there
for
was
couch
four of
floor.
us. We were four of us, and we were like, well,
rock, paper, scissors for two on the couch, two on the
Who's
floor.
snuggling here and who's
Yeah.
snuggling?
Yeah.
the fact that like the hotel was only
Tetris.
$20 something dollars anyway is
Yeah,
just
that's
worth
fair.
buying the Red Roof Inn room for $20.
Between four people.
Yeah.
Very cool. One more thing, real quick.
Okay.
What was your thing? Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt,
wh-
but
yeah,
yeah, I
what
would
was
like to
your
know.
My theme, I've actually already mentioned this earlier in the episode, so this is kind of like a fun little callback. My theme was vampire music.
Nice.
Okay. And then my
Now I'm having to rethink
Okay.
every person on your list. Like vampires.
maybe we
okay.
should rename this like Ashby's Vampire
We can,
Throwbacks.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, every one of these acts has at least one or more songs that give me vampire vibes or that have been used in vampire media.
What's the Switchfoot song?
On Fire.
On Fire. Okay, On Fire.
Ashby's Friendly Friday of Get Bit.
And here's the cool thing about the wild card. It's hilarious because last night me and Ivy watched a episode of Will Trent, and it was a vampire episode. Like one of the people was
Yes.
into vampirism, and we thought he was the killer because the victim had 2 bite marks on the neck. She was very pale, just all the things. So
Yeah. Oh, and just to clarify, when I say vampire media, I'm including fan fiction in that.
Yes.
So, like, you might actually not be able to find what I'm talking about because it's something very specific
I'm not
to
going to
me.
think too deep into it, but I was
I
just
know.
like,
I've
sure it
learned not to
exists.
go too deep onto Ashby's deep dives.
Please don't. Please don't. That would be bad for everyone's health.
So the cool thing about the wild card slot is like we don't really have a set spot for this. So like where are you slotting them in your show?
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. I was thinking maybe. I think it has to be between Switchfoot and Muse
Okay.
because I think
It's a good
you
spot.
kind of have
So
like.
they're going in your second slot. Then.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I think what I've sort of unintentionally done is sort of like an up down of mood, and so you have like Switchfoot into My Chemical Romance, into Muse, and then sort of like into Sarah McLachlan, Sunsets, and then we take it back up with
Right.
Goo Goo Dolls.
Got you. All right, Kyle, you have your wild card slot up next.
I do, and I use this wild card slot to also change the venue a little bit.
Oh, okay.
We're either putting this band on like just a side stage, or we're selling this as a one-off special, like extra perk that you have to pay for. That it's going to be like in a small private
Like a pre-show.
pre-show at the venue, but like it's not on the main stage. It's just backstage somewhere in like a smaller, more intimate setting, and it's going to be Dashboard Confessional.
Okay.
2001, the place you've come to fear the most. You're going to get so many great songs of his career so far in that time period and a little bit before then that he's released. I've never seen them. I've seen like tons of stuff they've done. Even like on Valentine's Day a few years back during COVID, they did like a special that you could like pay and watch live, and so we did that. But yet to ever see them, and more so in my mind, I've always visualized where they did MTV Unplugged. And that was a big thing when we were younger, but especially them doing it. And he's like, it's kind of redundant, unplugged, us doing this unplugged. But that just whole moment has just been magical to me through my life of just that experience. Everybody sitting down, everybody singing at the top of their lungs to his stuff. His stuff is already acoustic anyway. At this point, he hasn't switched to electric stuff in their time period yet. And so it just fits perfect. It's literally what he's been doing anyway up to this point. And it's just such an intimate moment where people just all together to enjoy this. It's not somebody that came for the headliner that's just also happening to see them. Like you specifically paid extra to go see this wild card special intimate event. So that's how we're going to go with that.
Very cool. I like that a lot. I have one pick left. Where are you slotting your wild card? You said there was a little side stage.
It's going to be the beginning. So this will be earlier in the day.
Okay.
And then it'll go the rest of the act is how it did it. So you would go to this private thing first,
and then
you would just
I
go
like
to
that
the
a
main
lot.
stage
Okay.
festival
Yeah.
from there.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
I like that.
All right, I have my wild card left, and both of these ones that I'm considering could have arguably been the headliners. So I'm just going to go with the one that I like. I think I just like more in this time frame.
Limp Bizkit, we all know.
I'm not giving anyone the nookie here.
It's just one of those days.
Although it is my way or the highway. I'm going to be taking what I think defines wild card for one of these performers. I'm going with Outkast. And
That'd be great.
Okay.
I'm taking their from their 2003 The Speaker Box, The Love Below era.
Such a good one.
Yes.
Which again they could have arguably headlined this show. They've got Miss Jackson, they've got B.O.B., they've got the Whole World, they've got The Way You Move, they've got Hey Ya,
Right.
they've got Roses, Caroline.
Yeah.
Our friend Caroline probably hated that song so much.
Probably.
But yeah, I think I just enjoy their music a little more than my I guess now honorable mention, Eminem. Would have been the 2002.
Also, arguably could have headlined the show.
The Eminem show
Yeah.
was the era I was looking at with so many hits.
Definitely
I
not
just
family friendly.
literally ran out of room because I would have loved to have both of these. Because Outkast is just as big as they were in 2003. I think I'm putting them in my third slot. So after Britney, so Britney's going to be True Afternoon. It's opened up by Nelly, so it does kind of interrupt the flow a little bit because you go from Nelly to Britney and then back to kind of, maybe I switch them around then. Maybe I do Nelly, Outkast, and then we go Britney, Justin, Usher as the lineup.
Also, speaking of the Eminem show, shout out to Ernie Brame, who's a real one, who got in my car in like 2004 and drove it somewhere and did not tell me he was doing that. And it just so happened to be on the song Superman. And instead of breaking the CD in half or throwing it out the window, came back to the house and said, "Never ever let your mother like catch you listening to this song."
Yes. Yes.
A funny.
Well, and for our re-debut last week, our re-pilot episode, in the description, we started with Guess Who's Back? Back again. So a little shout out to the Eminem show there.
Because
apologies to Marshall Mathers.
Just because of what you said about throwing out the window, and then Eric's list, it combines with my life where I was in college, probably the same My Chemical Romance age. Howard and I were riding down the road, and I had the Britney Spears single where it was literally "Baby One More Time," and then like one other song. So it was literally like, and I paid like $15 for it. But
Right.
Yeah, the crazy things we did back in the day.
Insanity.
and so we were listening to that, and I was halfway listening to it just to kind of be funny. Like when he came and hopped in the car and we took off. We made it like half a mile down his road, and he's like, "Ha ha ha!" Eject, grabbed it, and threw it out my window. And again, I'd pay $15. Like
You owe me $15.
like 5 to 10 years earlier, so it was not something that like
Still
was
waiting
recent.
to be paid up, right?
Yeah, but no, it was just funny that like two artists that could have been on your list, and one of them got thrown out my window. So.
And so yours is vampire music, your theme. Your theme is bands you've never seen that you'd like to see. I guess my theme is concerts where you could pick Eric out of the crowd from above. I mean, just so...
I don't know. Every person you listed, I feel like, especially our age group, no matter what you listen to, like that was just a hit thing. There's literally coworkers of mine where concerts will come out now.
I would have gone to
any
of
of
these
this,
concerts.
and they go to these shows and stuff. I have a coworker the other day that had to cover for another coworker, and she told my boss, she's like, "I think I'm caught up. Everything should be good, but just heads up at 9:00, I got to stop because I got to go buy Lil Wayne tickets."
Gotta go.
Beeston was just like, "I got to get these tickets," and so she's like, "I was supposed to see him a long time ago, or no, she said I saw him a long time ago in Fayetteville. We were supposed to see T.I., but he got arrested, so they had to change the tour."
Checks out. Checks out.
I know y'all said y'all didn't really have any backups on your list today. Did y'all have any other bands that were under consideration, but just ultimately didn't make your list or whatever?
I almost for my wild card picked Static X.
That would have been a very wild card.
Yeah, because especially during the era that they had music on the Queen of the Damned soundtrack when they had Cold. I just remember listening to that song over and over and over and over. It was a great song. Don't get me wrong. And they were a great band, even though I probably didn't listen to all of their other stuff, and I should have. But
Did you know they're still touring now?
no, and I would only go if they played Cold twice, probably.
You should look it up because the lead singer
But Wayne Static isn't
is
alive
dead.
anymore. Yeah.
So whoever their lead singer is a zombie version of him.
Oh my
So
god.
you should look up the pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow.
I can just the thing is when I listen to that song, it's kind of like when you listen to Supermassive Black Hole, you picture the vampires in Twilight playing baseball. When I listen to Cold, I just picture Stuart Townsend like climbing up a wall as Lestat and like eating a girl on the ceiling. It's
It's
beautiful.
like, I would love to see that a
Wow.
couple more times.
I would love to
listen to
picture
that.
that over and over again
Yep.
as I fall asleep.
The only one I had that I didn't put on was Deftones. I feel
Okay.
like Deftones came out a lot in my immediate list to put on there, but then again, I was trying to put something that, and again, Deftones is a big name band, but still, I was just trying to think of bands I hadn't seen that kind of would fit together, but also be more in the mainstream of our audience.
Got
So
you. Before I decided my theme of like just like my high school or my lifeguarding era music I'd listen to type thing, I considered Adam Sandler in my wild card spot as like a comedian who could
Singer,
also,
like,
also
but
do some
still
singing.
doing it, yeah.
Like that was like one of the first things when I looked at the
That
wild
would be
card,
cool.
like, you know what? I don't know if anyone's gonna have a comedian, but Adam Sandler kind of checks off all
Yeah.
the boxes for me.
Yeah.
I
that'd be
also
cool.
briefly considered doing an all country lineup or having like more or having
Yeah.
like having country singers in my lineup. I thought of Kenny, I thought of Brooks and Dunn, I thought of Shania Twain.
Right.
that's why I wasn't too
and
concerned.
I thought
so.
about Taylor Swift as well. Like her debut album was in 2006, so I thought about her as my debut artist, like my up and coming artist, knowing like no, I don't get all of her other stuff in the future, but I have a future mega star
Right.
who's on this massive card with all these people. And then I just I went down the rabbit hole of my biggest concern was Ashby's going to take NSYNC with her first pick, and then I really wanted Justin. Like he was going to be like,
That's fair.
I think I wanted him more than Usher. I know I don't have him in my main slot, but I think he ties Usher to Britney Spears. Like he
Right.
was like my connective tissue.
I almost went pop, and I almost went bands that I would have given anything to have seen, like Spice Girls.
right. And I thought of Spice
NSYNC.
Girls for you as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I saw Backstreet at that time, the Millennium Tour, but there are so many other bands I would have loved to have seen in their heyday as like a huge pop fan back then that just weren't possible because my 11-year-old self couldn't go to concerts unilaterally.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
I almost went down the rabbit hole of what you were talking about being like at the pool, because so many of these bands, and Third Eye Blind is a band that I became knowing of because of the swimming at the pool and listening to the local radio. But them, Goo Goo Dolls was the same way. They would have been on the list.
Yeah.
Oasis, I was thought about on the list. Smash Mouth, some of these other bands.
Smash Mouth was under consideration.
Yeah, the
before I narrowed
Wallflowers.
it
There's a
down.
bunch
the
of different people.
Wallflowers. Oh, One Headlight
Yeah.
had us in a grip one summer.
The only,
So good.
I think it's The Difference. Yeah, I think so. Is another one by them.
Yes. Yeah.
I literally rocked out to that in Food Line like in the last 10 years. I was like, wait
Yeah.
a second, what is this?
Yeah.
Hold on, stop, wait. I
Spin
remember this.
Doctors.
Spin Doctors.
Another
yes.
great one.
Spin Doctors.
Counting Crows.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray was
Another.
Yeah.
like, that's a band that I listen to like I have a playlist I use at work, and it's
Yes.
Sugar Ray's heavily featured because
Yeah.
the playlist I use is called 2026 Vibes. It's one I put together, but it's literally me just wanting the vibe like it's 1996 instead.
Sure.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Sugar Ray is definitely basically my lineup ended up being okay. This is Whatchella sponsored by G105 or Bob 93.3.
right.
Is what-
Bob 93.3.
So, but yeah, but I thought about going down. No, what if it was sponsored by QDR instead? So,
True.
In my mind,
True.
like making my list, I was like, I'm not too concerned about Eric because I feel like country or rap is going to heavily like fall into his.
Yeah, I could have done a country one too. I actually did karaoke 2 weeks ago, and it was country karaoke. So
Okay.
at that night for karaoke at the bar, you had to stick to the genre. And so I did Bye Bye by Jody Messina, and I did I Can Love You Better by the Dixie Chicks. So I could just do like female 90s karaoke, as my like lineup.
I say we put this
need
in
to
the
do
schedule.
this, by the way. Like, we need to go find a karaoke night because I would do karaoke. I would do karaoke.
Yeah.
We can get
I
Kyle
love
up there. I
karaoke.
mean, like,
I'm going beyond this. I'm saying put it a year out from now, so we're not rushing it. But we can have a what host whatever karaoke night or whatever. We'll rent out Corbett Hatcher somewhere, but bring in our own stuff. Yeah, we can make this happen. That's I'm putting a year
I
from
don't know
now.
if it's $50. I'm joking.
It's probably more
Corbett Hatcher
expensive
is
now.
still
Inflation.
inhabitable?
It is. Well,
Yeah.
my brother got married there 5 years ago.
okay.
So
But I just think,
it's actually nicer. Like, they've
yeah,
worked
they've
on the
remodeled it.
inside. So.
So I still say, like, give us a year. So we're going to grow. We've got 70-something followers on the YouTubes right
71 subscribers on YouTube.
now. Yep. We're going to get a little bit further than that. And then we're going to host our own
They all
karaoke night.
It'll be Whatchella themed. Like
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
we are going to be doing songs from '94 to 2006.
That's right.
And you can all participate, but
And I will sing
But-
"Possession" by Sarah McLachlan
Yes.
at that time.
and I might go into my rendition of Usher's "Yeah" like I did at the 2004 talent show.
And you don't even have to worry
Yes.
about like not graduating at this point.
That's
Just
right.
go all out.
Yeah.
So,
Daniel
yeah.
does a great Backstreet Boys.
There you go. Comment on the poster,
Please.
TikTok, whichever you're
What
watching us
songs?
on. Let us know. You guys are going to come next year
Yeah.
to the
And
What
also,
What
like,
Host
what's your
Karaoke Night?
go-to favorite karaoke song?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We will get these put together in like little concert little posters, and we'll have like a little spreadsheet of who drafted what, and we'll put this on Instagram. We'll put it on like our YouTube or whatever. If you, we might even put a little poll up, just say which one would you want to see first or whatever. I mean, not really competition, but just to see what everyone's tastes are like, and so when that comes out, make sure y'all check that out and let us know what you think. So, thank you for joining us for Whatchella. All right. I don't know what we're doing next month for our Block B, but this was ambitious, so this was really
This
fun.
was ambitious.
All right, well, let's move on to our next ad break. Folks, stop carrying paper planners. You need the Cyber Pocket 3000. It's a calculator, a world clock, and it fits right in your cargo pants. It's available now at Circuit City for only 6 easy payments of $19.99. Stop living in the past and start living in the cyber zone.
feel like-
Again, I hope these are real products.
I feel like that's like a first
Truly.
tier prize, like lowest level on like Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yes.
It's like you've made it across the moat. Congratulations! Like you're not quite to Skechers level where you get a pair
Right.
of shoes, but you
Right.
get that instead.
Your team has won its own cyber zone.
Yeah.
All right. So the posters are signed. It's time to open the vaults as we go into our third block. This is the As If Archive.
As if.
As if.
As if.
All right. So this is a fun little, I know we had talked about our third block last time. We did lyrically correct, and Kyle's like, let's do that again. I was like, well, we don't want to burn people out on that. We'll come back to lyrically correct.
It's fair. It was fun.
But we also don't want to like do the same thing over and over and over, and so we're going to come back to that. But I'm very excited about this because you two are gonna enjoy this. Y'all have no idea what this looks like. I just gave you the premise.
That is correct.
The premise is that I've been digging through the digital attic of the 90s, or late 80s, 90s, 2000s, and I have pulled out 3 artifacts.
Okay.
2 of these are 100% real pieces of pop culture history. One is a complete lie I cooked up over my ham and cheese omelet this morning. Okay.
Wait a second. You say you only had 2 eggs or 4 eggs.
Well, yeah, you can make an omelet with 2 eggs.
You said you made eggs. You didn't say you made a ham
Yeah.
and cheese omelet.
Ashby literally walked in and said, "Man, it smells good in here." You're
I
like,
would
"I
have
made
wanted
eggs."
a ham and cheese omelet
Yeah.
Next time I'll cook you omelet. So
Please.
and coffee.
and coffee.
We have demands. They're not
I'm,
high, but
I'm
we have.
hosting you guys.
This studio needs more amenities.
Yes.
So, detectives, your job is to find the fake. So this is basically 2 truths and a lie, pop culture edition
Yes.
from the 90s. I'm going to present with you the 3 artifacts now. Artifact number 1, the Home Alone board game. A competitive strategy game where one person plays as Kevin and the others are Harry and Marv. The board was a map of the McAllister house, and the Kevin player actually had to snap physical plastic traps, like micro machines, onto the board to trip up the thieves. And if you stepped on the micro machines tile, your player piece literally got knocked off the board.
Okay.
Okay. Artifact number 2, the Titanic animated sequel from 1999. An Italian-produced animated film called The Legend of the Titanic. In this version, the ship doesn't actually sink because a giant octopus named Tentacles holds the hull together. Also, there is a rapping dog, and the rapping dog wears a backwards baseball cap and performs a full musical number about how much he loves the 1910s. And artifact number 3, the McDonald's McPizza War from 1989. McDonald's attempted to kill off Pizza Hut by installing massive industrial-sized brick ovens in every single franchise. They marketed it as the 11-minute feast, but the ovens were so hot they kept blowing the restaurant's breakers. The project was allegedly scrapped after drive-through riots broke out because people were waiting 15 minutes for a pepperoni pizza in a line that used to take 90 seconds. So, this is where you guys
We working together on this?
y'all can work together. Y'all can debate or y'all can discuss. I'll jump in with some, if you question something, I've got some facts that maybe sway you or maybe dissuade you. So
Home Alone had a video game. I know that because we had that.
yes, and
Okay,
it was not great.
Correct. And also, it sounds like a version of Mousetrap,
Literally,
It does,
yeah.
yeah.
which makes me feel like it is real.
It's Mousetrap, but with Joe Pesci,
Yes.
basically.
The question though, does this exist in the 90s or something that exists now that was based in the 90s?
No, these were all from the
in the 90s. 'Cause
Yes.
I was like, I can see it being made now.
91,
I just don't know if
99,
it was
99.
made
No,
then.
these were all back in the day.
Also, the Titanic animated series sounds insane enough to be real.
100%. As soon as you said rapping dog, I'm like, oh, this is actually probably real.
I mean, it was the late 90s. Disney clones were everywhere. And octopus is basically a legal loophole for a happy ending.
I feel like I would have remembered if McDonald's tried pizza.
I know
Well,
they did spaghetti.
So this was 1989. So you
Okay,
would
I
have
would have been
been
I
1
was
year
3
old.
years old.
Okay.
That might be why we don't remember it.
I know they made spaghetti. I don't remember them making pizza.
So they literally changed the drive-through windows to be wider for the boxes. It was a whole architectural thing.
See, I think we would remember that McDonald's looked funny at some point. You know what I'm saying?
they would have had to like change the windows and everything.
Yeah, and like a brick pizza oven. I think that's the one that's a lie.
Kyle, what do you
It's
think?
crazy enough though, because it's like it doesn't surprise me that they would do it though.
True. But the octopus and the rapping dog are crazy enough that I feel
It
like,
just
and
feel
the
like-
Italians be doing insane things, man.
Going to
Titanic-
Italy later this year. Are you? I'll look into it if I need to.
The Titanic was just money making, like nonstop.
Right.
Whatever you could
Right.
put out at that point
Yeah.
made sense, and it was a way for even younger kids to see it without going
True.
if they didn't want to take them to theaters. And number one, I'm not sure because I don't know if they would have had the extra money to make it, but they also didn't have a lot of money to make extra things. Stuff like a board game would be on the cheaper side of things to make to sell.
Yeah, but I feel like if Mousetrap
Mm-hmm.
sort of like franchise, like got
They
the
just
rights,
made their own version
and they
almost.
just made their own version, and so it was almost like for Christmas, kind of like how Monopoly has so many. There's like Harry Potter Monopoly and like Twilight Monopoly, and
So one thing I will say in my notes here, the Home Alone board game was from 1991. The movie came out in 90, so this would fit in with that timeline a year later
Right.
of being a Christmas gift.
yes, and they knew probably by that time they were going to be making a second.
Oh, for
one.
sure, yeah.
So they were capitalizing on that gap.
I'll go with number 3. That's fine.
I think number 3 is the lie.
All right, so you believe that the McPizza War is a lie.
Is false.
I believe it could happen, but
I just think
Outside
I
of
would
those
remember
three.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know as a 1-year-old, but I feel like I would at some point in the cultural zeitgeist, it would have been passed down to me. Also, I spent a lot of time in marketing classes in college
Mm-hmm.
and grad school talking about how brands have messed up over the years, and I feel
This
like
has
I
not
would
been
have
mentioned.
heard that.
Okay.
I would know.
So
the spaghetti one is like, and again, because you hear the crazy things they've done. Spaghetti is like you've heard about. Pizza, you feel like you'd hear about more because of what they would have to put in it to make it.
Correct.
So you're saying McPizza War's fake, which means you think the Home Alone board game
Yes.
and the Titanic animated sequel with the octopus and the rapping dog
Yes.
are both real.
That is
Sure.
correct.
Y'all are confirming.
Yes.
Okay.
They both sound very much like 90s things.
Well, here's the truth. The lie is. Oh, no. I'm actually going to insert a drum roll here.
No, come on. We can't be too fancy.
The lie is number 3, the McPizza.
yeah. Way to go.
So
Woo!
while the
Woo!
McPizza was very real, and some people are still obsessed with it, they never installed brick ovens. It was a convection oven system, and it failed because the boxes were too big for the drive-through windows, and the cook time was too long for fast food. There were
know what this looked
no
like.
drive-through riots or blown breakers that I know. So that means
Somebody got mad, I'm sure.
yes, the Titanic animated movie is real. It is on YouTube. The octopus has a face like a puppy, and the rapping dog is genuinely one of the most haunting things you will ever see. Welcome to the 90s.
I will never watch that, just so I never have to live with that image in my brain.
Wrong. We're going to definitely watch this and do live reactions to it.
I just like the idea of knowing it exists and just being like, oh, I'm not surprised a bit.
I will find a clip or something, and like maybe we'll I don't know.
I would do that.
We'll see, but
Okay, the McPizza actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. It doesn't
It
look
does.
bad.
But again, my pictures.
Okay.
You know how that works
So
in marketing.
y'all are 1-0 in the As If archives.
Yeah, we're pretty good at this.
That's pretty good.
I feel like Kyle and I are kind of like a good dream team.
I forgot about your marketing background. I would have picked something different for my lie. But y'all did really well. Should we bring this segment back? What
I
do you
think so.
I mean, we'll bring this back at some point for sure, along with Lyrically Correct. We'll do, I'll probably have another third fun little Block 3 segment for us next month. But I'm glad to see this turned out well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we wrap, it is time to let off some steam. This is Useless Aggression. One topic, no holds barred, completely unnecessary anger. Kyle, you went last time, but you're up first today. Your video or your rant on your nose getting stopped up was a big hit for us on our YouTube Shorts. I think it's our highest.
I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I just like the fact the majority of the comments I got on it were actually legitimate.
Like deviated septum.
I posted it on my Facebook, just like personal one, and like thoughts of people like, I had the same thing happen, but I went back 5 years ago and had surgery, and I'm glad that I did. And like, by all means, I'm glad you're commenting. I think it's great, but more than just like, oh, that's hilarious. It was legitimately people like, I know your pain. I can't breathe. Like, I feel the same way.
As an aside, and not to glorify violence, but what you should do is you should have someone punch you in the nose as hard as they possibly can. And then you can get your deviated septum fixed for free.
Oh, never mind. I'm putting my hand down.
Doesn't work that way, at least not for me. I was at a concert one in Wilmington and got spin kicked in the face, knocked out for the rest of the show.
Had a concussion.
Got home. I woke up in the van on the way home with a concussion, and I still don't remember hardly anything of that night other than that. I rode an elevator down. I asked them how they got me down the stairs from second floor. They said, dude, you went in the elevator. Did not know there was an elevator, went down it. So my whole face, like,
they rolled him down the stairs like Stanley in The Office.
Yeah. So I was standing too close to got spin kicked in the face, not intentionally, it just happened. But
Right.
like
It's
hit
the
my
mosh
nose,
pit.
everything. Pretty sure it broke it some. Yeah, it didn't fix anything.
So my dad got hit. He was helping coach one of my brother's baseball games, and he was keeping the score. And he heard like, "Hey, watch out!" And he looked up, and this baseball just went straight across his face, like laid his nose down to the side. Thankfully, didn't hit him in the jaw or the temple. Like just grazed his nose, but like broke it. And he had to have like go get it reset. And the doctor was basically like, "Hey man, while I'm in here, you want me to fix your nose?" And he was like, "Yeah, okay." He basically got like rhinoplasty, but he got to like include it under insurance because it wasn't cosmetic. He had a broken nose, and he's had a deviated septum his whole life, and it fixed it.
Wow.
Something to consider.
I don't have a nose story. I do have a concussion story. My junior year in high school, I had made regionals in track and field as a discus thrower. Regionals were at Rosewood High School, and I was just stretching on the side, and someone at Rosewood High School did not completely tie down the protective net around the discus cage area. And when someone was making their throw, it slipped out of their hand, went through the net, like kind of pushed the net back, clocked me on the side of the head, and I woke up on the ground and could not compete that day because I had a concussion. So I could have been an all-state, like
should have given you a medal.
champion.
Could have.
In discus my junior year. And I think it derailed my athletic career in general because I didn't make regionals the next year. So
And you've never been able to grow hair in that same spot since.
exactly.
So
So anyway, Kyle, useless aggression. You're up first. What's got you fired up today?
you got your clock.
I do.
Got to make sure I don't go over this minute.
We're going to start the clock in 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
What starts with a P and ends with Olin? Nope, not Poland. It's pollen, the devil's cocaine. You're riding through town and see a row of camouflage vehicles, and Mildred says, "What's the army doing in the town?" You say, "Wait a second, that's not camouflage. That's pollen, and that's not the army. That's Deacon Jones' car dealership. It's everywhere. Try to wash it away, but it ain't going long. Sure, clean your windshield off, but by the time you get buckled in your seat, it's covered in pollen again." Oh, it's such a nice day outside. I should go enjoy this lovely weather and just sit and enjoy the time. No, but no matter where you go, there's that mean kid from Forrest Gump saying, "You can't sit here," and seats taken. Said, "I already have enough problem breathing. My air should not have to come in a powdered form." But good news, though. If anyone breaks into anything you own, you can guarantee they're going to leave behind their shoe prints, their fingerprints, and possibly a full body outline of themselves on everything and anything between you and what they stole from you. Pollen, get out of here.
Wow. You do that in 53 seconds, dude.
Nice.
Very proud of you.
So I had 8 seconds to
Yeah.
bragging about something else. But No, it's good enough.
Yeah, you and Daniel are on the same page. I keep opening our windows because I'm like, there's a beautiful breeze and it's 58 degrees. And he's like, I'm dying. My throat is closing up. Shut the windows.
Yes. Ivy asked me the other day, like, hey, do you want to go for a walk after supper? And I'm like, I would love to, but I can't. Not right now because I'm going to be outside for my classes a lot this week and the next week because we have field day coming up this week.
Yeah.
And I'm doing bucket golf, which is, when you do that outside, we can do it inside, but it's not as fun. And if I'm going to have like pollen related things, I'd rather it be because I have to and not because I chose to go on a walk. So maybe in 3 weeks when the pollen's done doing the pollen things, but right now, no.
Thankfully, I don't have my dad's pollen issue. I remember back in the 90s, before COVID, he would mow our grass in an N95 mask. And I would always just be like, what is wrong with this fool?
He's smart. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I know.
Because
I know.
I never wore any kind of like face covering when I was cutting grass with my dad. And I guarantee you, I'm probably going to have to pay for that one day.
Yeah.
So
We got home the other day and Scott's like, "Oh, can we play outside?" I was like, "No, you see all the
No.
yells of pollen's everywhere.
Yeah,
pollen's
it's
everywhere.
can't do that.
And it's going to get you.
It's going to get
In
on
your
our
eyes,
clothes.
your nose,
you can't
your
do
mouth,
anything
your
with this.
clothes, your ears.
It's like we got to wait until it goes away and then we can come back out and play again."
Awful.
All right. I will go next for my useless aggression.
Okay.
Probably won't take up a whole minute, but
Okay.
here we go. So my useless aggression is these high school drivers who are given these big trucks, knowing that these kids have never needed a truck to haul anything, to pull anything, but they have the biggest trucks. They don't know how to drive them, first of all. They're all over the road. Number two, they're too big for them. And what do they need a big truck for? I know it looks cool, but you don't need it. Like, look, when I was growing up, we had big trucks because we had weed eaters in the back, we had a blower in the back, we had a cooler with some waters in there, and I had to pull a trailer with 2 lawnmowers when I was 16, okay? I needed a big truck. And it wasn't even my truck. It's my dad's truck. I didn't get a truck. I got a car, a 91 Pontiac Grand Prix that didn't even work for the first 5 months. But you're given this big, what is it, F-850, Ford pickup, Chevy, whatever. No, it's ridiculous. Parents, stop buying your kids trucks they don't need. Get them something reasonable. You can get them a truck, but get them something reasonable. That was a minute.
Yeah. My friend had a 2-door stick shift Tacoma.
Yeah.
Like 90s, like beat up.
Get like a Dodge Dakota or something.
Yeah, like get him a normal size truck.
A normal size truck. I mean, that's fine, but don't get them something that would have
Ridiculous.
qualified as a monster truck in 1996.
Well, let's not buy you a brand new truck and give you like $3,000 to $4,000 just for the wheels and tires that are going on it as well.
Yeah.
And then still driving all over the place.
Yeah. So, buy what you want to buy, but my God, they do not need those trucks. So, and I've seen it way too many times. And every time I see it, Ivy's like, you're going to say, I'm like, I'm going to talk about it again. You're right.
Eric pulls over. They're upside down in the ditch. And it's like, your parents should have never bought you that. I never would have done that with my Honda Accord. I'd have been on the road in between the lines from here to there. It's your own dang fault.
Going 89 miles an hour, but that is neither here nor there.
No.
That's right.
You're upside down in the ditch because your parents and your fault.
Really showing my age today. Anyway.
I'd call 911, but I'm too mad.
I'm going to call 811 so they can dig you out. All right, Ashby, we've saved this last slot for you because we knew what was coming.
As soon as it hit the news.
As soon as it hit the news, like, well, I even put it in our, like, we know what Ashby's going to be talking about next
Plot twist,
month.
instead of being angry, I just cry for a minute.
The floor is yours.
We'll play Sarah McLachlan in the background for you now.
The floor is yours. Ready and go.
So the headline, I could do this in 5 seconds, is Misogyny Kills the Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot. But like basically what happened is there was a producer on set the whole time who just kept saying loudly that he didn't really understand the point of the first Buffy. And he didn't really understand the point of like having that many women on the cast. And he also actually never watched the first one. He was really proud of it and whatever. And so basically the one thing that I've been looking forward to the most this year is new Buffy in my life with the actual cast coming back. And I don't get it. I don't get to have it anymore because of this man. Allegedly, let's not get sued. Allegedly, that's not what Sarah Michelle Gellar said in her little rant, but the industry gossip is that this man kind of single-handedly killed this reboot. And I hope that he never knows peace. I hope that he never knows happiness. I hope his pillow is always hot. I hope when he has to walk across a dark room barefoot that there's 80,000 Legos. I'm so angry about it.
In other words, Ashby hopes his parents bought him a brand new truck, and he ends up upside down in a field full of pollen.
And an onlooker dials 811.
100%. 100%.
And then there's just the kid from Forrest Gump saying, "You can't park there."
Oh gosh. Well, that's our show, ladies and gentlemen. Huge thanks to my friends Kyle and Ashby for everything they do for us. If you're watching this or listening to this, please go to our Instagram and follow us at What the What Media. Vote on what or whose Whatchella lineup wins.
Yeah.
You can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/@whatthewhatmedia. Okay, and we are under TikTok or on TikTok now under the same handle, What the What Media. Anyone who follows or subscribes to us on any of these platforms, you're helping our channel out immensely. I tell people, you don't have to really listen to us, just follow us. I mean, just any kind of numbers will help us here. But
We're
also,
honestly already blown away, but just how many of you are already listening and commenting and stuff already.
we're very impressed
Yeah.
with our re-debut last month, and we're going to be trying to get out some more content out over the next month as well. But thank you so much for anyone who's commented or subscribed, or if you're new to the channel or to the podcast, we really appreciate it, and we hope we can continue to have you here. So yeah, huge thanks to everyone for rocking with us on this journey. We'll be back next time with more deep dive.